Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages, welcome back. My name is Gray Lovelady. They call me the Goose. Today, we're going to be working with the new redstone block and the new daylight sensor installed in Minecraft 1.5. The redstone block is obviously made out of 3x3 pieces of redstone. The daylight sensor is made out of wooden slabs, nether quartz, and blocks of glass. As you can see, I've already have a small example of the house already built. Now, as we use the daylight sensor, it's daytime right now. However, if we turn it to nighttime, the door shuts and the lights come on. Now if we turn it back to daytime, the door opens and the lights shut off. So it's a really convenient way of, keeping mobs out and keeping your stuff in, basically, without all the dirty buttons. Now, let's look at the guts real fast. Now if we run down here, you can see the light sensor, the daylight sensor right there. As you can see, the redstone current sitting here and it's on. It runs all the way down here, and you place a block right here, and your redstone torch is on the other side. One thing I've noticed is that sometimes the door will be kind of buggy if you use a whole slab right here. It's pretty efficient to use a half stone slab. You'll see that in our next building example. As you can see, I've set up a little bit larger distance from the daylight sensor to the house. Now, if we look at the guts inside this one, it's a little bit different. Basically, everything up front's the same. There's the daylight sensor, and here's the current. Now, as you can see, the current's off because it's nighttime. However, the current takes a while to charge up. So I've installed a redstone repeater right here. So when it comes on, it can shoot up to here, and then doesn't have to power the rest of the way. The redstone repeater will do it for it. Now I've used half slabs here. The half slabs will prevent you from getting that buggy spot right here. There's a buggy spot. The buggy spot is when you put a whole block right here, and then you'll put a whole block on that, and it'll mess up your door system. So I've used half slabs, and I figured out that stops the problem. This is basically the same process as before. So let's switch it back to daytime. As you can see, the current comes back on and the torch goes off, which means the power to the doors has changed. So the doors should be open now, as you can see. Now, how can you extend the length of this? Now, as you can see, I've made a much larger design here that we've been working on. It's the same process, but I've used a series of redstone repeaters to power the signal at a farther distance. As you can see, the torch is off, and I'm going to place a whole block right here. I'm going to use a wooden slab to show you the slabs that you need to put in here. As you can see, these two are actually just wooden slabs. Now, if we go down here, we can see that the torch is still off. Now, let's go ahead and put our door on. This is the tricky part. When the torch is off, you want your door to be open. However, when it's nighttime, you want your door to shut to keep the monsters out. So obviously the torch is kicked on down here, and the redstone signal's gone off. So let's turn the redstone signal on and let you see what we're doing here. As you can see there, the redstone current is repowered by these redstone repeaters, making the signal faster and opening the door. And that's how you can use an iron door without buttons or switches, by using the daylight sensor. Another thing I'd like to cover is the use of redstone blocks and redstone torches and their differences. As you can see here, both the redstone torch and the redstone block are both powering these redstone lights. However, if we look over here, you can see the design using redstone blocks. If we dig through here, as you can see, it's redstone blocks all the way down. However, in this design, which has the same idea, you can put a redstone torch here and it'll light up this light, as well as the next one. However, using the signal, it'll kill the third light. So it'll kill these two lights, and it'll repeat that pattern. That's the benefit of redstone block. Something you might have seen on the house is the use of these redstone lights. As you can see, it's just basically 2 daylight sensors, 2 pieces of redstone, and a redstone torch right here. Now if we turn it to nighttime, it'll have the same process as the door. As you can see, the redstone signal is kicked off, and the redstone torches come on, thus turning on all the lights, and in the same process, closing the door. One last thing I'd like to show you is how long it takes for daylight sensors to power up. As you can see, they've already begun to power up. See how long it'll take the redstone signal to switch over? The further it gets, the harder it is to power up. Shade over a daylight sensor does matter, as you can see. Here's a daylight sensor that's uncovered and a sensor that's covered. The end result is pretty noticeable. When the daylight sensor is finally powered up, as you can see, the shaded daylight sensor has less of a range than the original daylight sensor. Let me show you a daylight sensor without a redstone repeater. As you can see, the signal's off on the closest daylight sensor. Now if we turn it to daytime, you can see the light's still on. The reason being is because the sensor hasn't powered up enough to turn the light off. So the redstone torch will continue to stay on until that happens. However, in the shorter model, which doesn't have to have as much, as you can see, the redstone current's already powered up and the torch is kicking off your lights. The same with the house, same design, no problem whatsoever. Alright guys, that's basically all I have for you. Please like and subscribe, and we'll see you guys later.